K-boy.
Ooh, Dub, you killing them. What I say?
What's up, y'all? We're gonna be doing a video about unavoidable male canon events by One Cloud Nine. I think it's probably be talk about things growing up as a man, from childhood, from a little boy, things that we all go through that we can't really avoid because it just naturally happens like that. But furthermore, we're just gonna go ahead and get into this video.
Male canon events. First up, fumbling, a 10 out of 10. You know, I'm not gonna lie, this is one of the worst ones in my opinion. Reason why we've all been through this. There's always been that one girl that you thought you had in the bag. I mean, she was fine, beautiful, gorgeous. I mean, in your mind, she goes band for band with SZA, Lotto, and Ruby Rose. Like, you feel me? And for some wild reason, you think you actually have a chance with that girl. You try to get her, and you're doing good, and then randomly one day, she just goes. And for the rest of that week,
I've been through that a couple of times. Like I was a cute girl, and sometimes like you may try to go talk to her. I may try to talk to him, and there's times that I don't go talk to him, and then I just be like, damn. I wonder what could have happened if I like shot my shot. I don't know if it's gonna be a no. I don't know if it's gonna be a yes, but yeah, there's been times I've been through that. I've been through a lot of that, especially in my younger days.
you're just contemplating, scrolling through your text, looking at what you could possibly have done wrong. Thinking maybe she forgot about the text, maybe you said a weird joke, or just something random. Just whatever your brain can imagine for her to actually ghost you because, of course.
Y'all ever sent a risky text? How you ever did that? Sent a risky text and hoping you probably get a yes or no. Like it could be something basic, be like, "Hey, I like you more than a friend," and they won't hit you up again. Like they'll just straight ghost you. You be like, "Where the hell?" Like, damn, I just press my feelings. But hey, sometimes it just be like that. If they don't like you, then they don't like you. You know. And have y'all ever sent one of them risky texts? You know how we young man be. We always want to ask for something nasty. I done that in my fair share. And to my surprise, I used to get some pictures. Let's just say I used to get some pictures asking for some stuff in my younger days, and I would get riled like, oh man, send me a whole bunch of pictures. I didn't think they was going to send me, but yeah. Been through that in my younger days.
Of course, it's not just you. Well, nigga, hate to break it to you. She likes a guy and it's not you. Game is game. And the worst part about it is that oftentimes the next week she ends up hard launching with her new man. And when you see him, it's somebody you don't even think is better than you. Well, brother, hate to break it to you, but he is. And then when they eventually break.
When I see a girl that I try to get with and basically, she wasn't into me, I don't think the dude is better than me. Fuck that. I'm way better than any nigga that she gets with, and I'm basically, because a lot of girls I try to get with, they get with the most ain't shit nigga. Like, I don't understand. Like, and they even know like what kind of guy I am. Like, they know I will treat them right. They know I'll be that loving person in their life, but they just want to be with these dumbass niggas. Like, be with like just guys that's no good at all. Like, they ain't gonna treat them. They ain't gonna treat them right. They ain't gonna love them. And that's what they rather deal with.
Wake up, you're gonna be right back on her feet begging for her.
And also, I do gotta realize too, there possibly a reason why I probably can't date some of these females, and it might be a factor of like, what if they did give me a chance? Are they gonna treat me right? Cause I already know I'm gonna treat them right. But if I got a chance, are they going to treat me right, or are they going to treat me like shit? So that's just something that I always have to think about.
Or to take you back. But before that, you will go through the I hate that bitch phase. After every man goes through a heartbreak, they always hate the girl for a little bit. It's inevitable, bro. Every single bad thing that you've noticed and garnered about her in the past couple of years, it just kind of comes flowing back into your brain in one rushing, angry moment until it eventually boils over and you realize you don't really hate her. You're just sad that she's gone. But you still go through the phase, though. And then you get sad and you're a little bit depressed and you're wondering why it didn't work out. Maybe you'll never find love again. Maybe something else won't happen. I don't know. You just stress. But usually you end up doing all of this stressing late at night, which leads you to the third male canon event, 3 a.m. motivational workout. I can speak for all of us. We've all been through, whether it was a breakup or a heartbreak or
I never did any 3 a.m. Workouts. I think the earliest I probably went out to go work out is probably 5, maybe 6 a.m. But at the most, I probably do like 7 or 8 on a regular. But the earliest I probably went to the gym was probably like 5 a.m. I did that for like a couple days when I was really, really active into it. But yeah, I used to get up real early, probably get in there about 5 o'clock in the morning in the gym. But I haven't been there since. But I need to start getting back into it though.
maybe you just realize you're a bum. You went through that phase where you thought at 3 a.m. in the morning you was gonna change the world. You started doing push-ups, started watching David Goggins videos, and you're up all night feeling motivated and thinking that you're finna rule the world. You're finna be the most swole, chiseled, drizzled, gizzled, diggled, fadiddled, top tier man that you can be. And then you wake up after you pass out on the floor from doing all of them push-ups. Look at your surroundings, realize your room is still dirty, and then eventually come to the realization that you'll never be that guy. But you know something else?
Have anybody ever had a workout so crazy that you like almost just fell asleep somewhere? I remember I had like a crazy workout one day, and I was just going hard. Like I was just maxing out on different machines, and by the time I got to leave, I was driving in the car, and I didn't think I was tired until I got in the car and started driving. Next thing you know, I'm like low key falling behind the wheel. I'm like, oh, hold on, wait a minute, oh. I'm gonna need something to wake me up, so I went to go get me like a little energy drink, try to keep me up so I could get my way home, so I won't be crashing in the car and shit,
Else that could send you into this motivational arc. Canon event number 4, going bold. I promise you, every single person watching this video has gone through this phase, and most of the time it's because of your dad. Brother, I am gonna tell you right now, for the first 5 years of my life, I had to be complete.
I be looking at my grandfather, cause his hair is like he's bald right here, but he keeps the hair on the side. And my dad be joking and be calling him a clown, cause it kind of do like a clown type hair. And I just be wondering like, oh, is that gonna be me next? Like, I mean, y'all see how long my hair is. And then I start looking at my dad. My dad is starting to go bald too. So I hope that I don't get it. But if I do, then I guess I'm gonna have to rock the Morris chestnut. I might have to rock the Morris chestnut. I have no choice. If it has to come to that, then I'll rocking the Morris chestnut. All right. Cause I already got the goatee forming, so I could just go ahead and rock the Morris chestnut. All right.
Butt naked, Michael Jordan bald. Because when my dad was 28, he stopped growing hair, and ever since that day, he decided that he didn't want me to grow hair either. And it was the most aggravating thing of my life. And I'm sure every single one of y'all went through that same thing. And the worst part about it is that after he allowed me to have hair, he only allowed my hair to get to a certain length, which is known as the bald phase, which most of us have gone through, especially black children. And the worst part about this is that
I think all of us black kids went through that phase where we have like that fade where it almost make us look like we're bald headed. Like, you know, we at that time we wasn't thinking about growing our hair out. We wasn't thinking about like really having a fro. You know, we wasn't out here wearing dreads. I mean, there were some people wearing braids. Braids was popular as a little kid. You know, some of us rocked the braids. You know, during the Allen Iverson phase. You know, it was just braids or a fade where it looked like you're bald. Like that was literally what it was just growing up. And sometimes maybe a little afro, or some kids had the little dirty fro because it was snappy. They never wanted to pick it out and stuff like that.
When I was growing up, the mohawk was very popular. It was during the LaMelo, Odell mohawk phase, and everybody and their mother.
I had one of those. I actually had one of those. Back in my middle school days, I actually was rocking a faux hawk. That's what they called the faux hawk. I was rocking faux hawk in middle school, 8th grade to like my 9th grade year. I was rocking the faux hawk, and it was real popular. And then like you go from that to like getting all that cut, and then you take the little brush pad and just start doing this, and you start getting the little Congos going. You know, or you flip it to the other side, you get spiky here. That was popular. That was real popular. Everybody was on that faux hawk with the spike or faux hawk with the curls. I always wore my stuff in the curls. You know, I always rocked with that.
Other wanted a mohawk, and I wanted that so bad, but no, I couldn't get it because my dad said, and I quote, "If you get a mohawk, you have to walk around naked everywhere because the Mohawk tribe did." Yeah, I don't know why that nigga said that. That was some fucked up shit. But basically, he was just trying to get me to be bald like him. So hey, yeah, I guess it kind of worked for a little bit. Now we got these. But something else that dads often made us do was help them around the house. And one thing that I know for sure that we all went through was our dads getting mad at us when we didn't hand them their tools fast enough. My brother and
I probably went through that with my grandfather. You know, my pawpaw. Let him rest his soul. But yeah, there'd be times he wanted me to help him out on like a project or something when I was younger, and he'll like tell me grab something, I'll grab the wrong thing, be like, no, not that, it's right there, right on. Then I'm like, I'm sorry, I thought I grabbed the right tool. You know, I'm young. I don't know anything about. I'm young. I don't know anything about tools. I'm just thinking like, hey, this sounds like this is. So I just went ahead and started grabbing it. And he used to get mad and just start yelling at me, you know, like he trying to finish this up. Like he don't want to be out here all day, you know. But yeah, I actually been through that with my grandfather.
in Christ, I have almost been shot, almost lost my life. Heck, I thought I had AIDS at one point. But I have never been more scared in my life than when I used to help my dad do work around the crib. Because for some reason, dads just have a big fascination with doing mechanical work around the house. And while they're actively doing this act of stupidity, most likely messing up the whole house, they decide to exert their frustrations on their kid that they told them to help. And my brother in Christ, I know every single person watching this video can relate. If you didn't hand your dad that tool as soon as he asked you to, or if you moved a tiny little bit when he asked you to shine the flashlight somewhere.
Look, we was just talking about that. You hand them the wrong tool and stuff, they get mad, they get frustrated. You just feel like, hey, I'm trying to help. I don't know if I want to help no more. Hey, I tried my best. I'm sorry.
The amount of anger and rage that man will exert onto your body would be scarier than meeting a polar bear in the Arctic who hasn't eaten for weeks. And honestly, I've experienced a lot of trauma from doing stuff like this. Like the amount of trauma I've gone through from just holding tools is probably equivalent to the slaves back in the olden times. But after this, as a kid, you know, you can get pretty traumatized, scared, but also angry from what your father did. So angry that you even think about potentially fighting him. It would also be the worst mistake you ever made in your life because he will beat your ass. Every single man in his life has thought about fighting his dad. I say fighting for a reason because you will never beat him. I don't know what it is.
I don't think I never had a thought process to fight my own dad. I don't think I've never been through hellish stuff like that. I mean, I have heard like people and some of my friends fight their dad when they got older, but me, I never had no intentions to fight my dad. Like, he always, he's been there, you know. But other than that, I never had like thoughts like that. There's some stuff I might disagree with him on some things that he was doing before he got married. But other than that, I never thought about fighting my dad.
It's about fathers, but like they will never lose to their son. Period. Especially if it's fist. Like you could be 6'5", 280. Matter of fact, you made John Jones call you his pappy. But as soon as you run into your 5'9" father, he will beat the living breaks out of you. And even though we all wanted to fight our father, we none of us have actually did it because we knew the reality of that. I actually almost did it one time, and there's a reason why I said almost, because I realized very soon that I would get my ass absolutely plastered. And I love my life way too much to ever do that to myself. Once you realize that you can't possibly beat your father, you go from fight to flight. Which leads me to thing number 6. Running away. Every man has thought about running away from home. Brother, I cannot explain to you how many times I thought about running away as a kid. The crazy part about it is I live in a 2-parent household, suburban home.
Hey, there's been some times I've been frustrated that I felt like just running away, not being home. Like you just be chilling. And it's a nice day and you don't feel like doing nothing at all, and you get called out to do so many tasks out of nowhere, and you just like, I don't want to do anything. I just want to chill. I just want to lay down. I don't feel like it, and you get called to do these tasks. You better do these chores and stuff. I was just eating. I felt like just doing everything the next day, and I wanted to leave. I was like, man, I don't feel like doing nothing at all. We all been through that. We all been through all that. Like we just feel like you don't want to do anything certain days, and then out of nowhere, all these chores come up on the day that you want to relax. Like, dang, can I just do it tomorrow? Like, can I do it tomorrow? Like, no, you gonna do this shit today. Like, oh man, I just want to lay down today, man.
I live in Nashville, Tennessee, a predominantly white city. I live in the suburbs of the suburbs. You will see white people walking their dogs and kids playing in the street. I live a good life. I had a good childhood. I even went to private school. But for some reason, whenever my mom pissed me off or my dad did something I didn't want to like, I always thought about getting a big ass stick, a little red piece of cloth, tying it together, and putting all of the important stuff in my life, like the PS4, in the sack, and walking right out. I feel like this is a Canon event, not just for guys. I feel like it's everybody. We as men are the ones who are actually the closest to doing it. Because I'm not gonna lie, one time I literally started packing my bags because my mom pissed me off so much. And I was almost done doing it. I was so close to committing. And then I realized how badly my mom would beat my ass if I actually ran away. So I just stayed. And that's what usually happens, because it's never worth the beating, because they will find you. But usually that type of stuff would happen when you get...
I just get so mad because, like, I would clean up the house, and you know how you clean up the house, and I guess it's not clean to a certain tier. So I cleaned up the house. I'm thinking like everything's good and everything's nice, and I just wanted to play on the game. I got on the game and started playing after I cleaned up the house. I'm like, oh shit, I got the house clean. I'm gonna go ahead and play the game. Just chilling. I'm just chilling. Mom's come back home, and she's like, this house ain't clean. I'm like, what is she talking about? The house is clean. I cleaned up the whole house. Next thing you know, you start doing details in the house. Start doing details. You gotta make sure every little thing is spotless. I've been through that. I was just trying to play on the game. Like I was so pissed off. Like I did not want to get off the game. Like I was just chilling. Like when I tell you chilling, man, I did not want to get off the game at all. And it got me in the house doing details like make sure you get this spot or make sure you get that spot. Make sure you get this. Yeah, this house ain't clean. You think you gonna play on the game all day? I clean the house. I don't know. I thought the house was clean. But yeah.
Grounded. And something else you would do when you're grounded is thing number 7, reading a Diary of Wimpy Kid book. I don't know why we all did this, but we all read that book. And stuff would happen when you get grounded. And something else you would do when you're grounded is thing number 7, reading a Diary of Wimpy Kid book. I don't know why we all
I probably read the first one. The Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I seen the second one. What's that one? Rogers Wood. I seen that one. I never read it. But yeah, I definitely read the first one. A little bit of it. I ain't read the whole thing, but I read the first one. Like you know, when it's reading time, you have to pick out a book. Yeah, I definitely read the first one.
all did this, but we all read that book in our floor whenever our parents took away our phones or PS4s or whatever. Like it was just Canon Event to the fullest. And if you wasn't a guy, if you was a girl, you would probably read the Dork Diaries. I feel like guys also read the Big Nate books, stuff like that. It's just that same type of category genre. And I would always get those books at the Scholastic Book Fair too, bruh. Cause like, nigga, whenever that boy Jeff.
Y'all remember Scholastic? Y'all remember Scholastic? Oh man. Remember buying some nice mechanical pencils from there? Or they just had a whole bunch of cool stuff, like a cool notebook. It's always something inside Scholastic. Like those were the good days. That was the good days, man. Especially you had some money that day, you could buy some stuff. Oh man.
F. Kenny cooked up a book. I ain't gonna lie, niggas was on they seats, on they toilet, locked into them joints. I'm not gonna lie. But something that's also tough though is number 8. Realize that you'll never go pro in the sport you love. You know, as a man, I feel like this is actually the most heartbreaking thing you can go through. Because yeah, fumbling a 10 out of 10 is bad, but there will always be more fish in the sea. With your sport though, you only really get one chance at this. And once you finally had that moment,
I ain't gonna lie though, I thought I was gonna be a pro football player at one point in time because I'm big and stocky. I played running back, I played fullback, played line. I also played a little bit of linebacker. Those were some fun days, and I actually thought I could probably make it to the pros, and then I realized one day, football wasn't really my passion. I really liked the basketball more than football, to be honest. But I'm real short. I'm about 5'6", but I love me some basketball. It's just hard to play when you going against 6'8", and that's one thing I never realized. Like I was on the basketball team, and they would put me at center, and it never made sense because like they would put me at center or like power forward, both of those. I would do both of those positions, and it never made sense because I'm 5'6". That's short. Why would you put a 5'6" at center or power forward? Like I always wanted to be a point guard, but they never see me as a point guard. Like I could definitely move the ball. Like I could move the ball, win the plays, but they were just looking at me like, you kind of big, you kind of stocky. You go ahead and play. You're gonna play power forward and center. I was like, all right, man, I guess.
The realization that you will never go pro in your sport, whether it's basketball, football, it's truly one of the most heartbreaking things you can ever go through. I remember I was a big basketball player back in middle school, and when I got to high school, I thought it was going to be the same thing. And then one random day, Darius Garland pulled up to my local gym, and I realized very quickly that NBA was never going to be a reality. But I was delusional, so I thought, you know what, maybe if I really ball out my freshman year, I can get some looks. You know, I could really go crazy in a good route leading up to my senior year. Well, I was a JV bench player. And I was good too. I was averaging like 20 points a game, but the coaches just didn't mess with me. But then I thought, you know what, maybe the coaches are just, you feel me, purely hating on me, which they were. But then I thought, you know what, maybe I need to transfer somewhere to get more PT. Maybe that's what I really needed. And then I realized that I was never finna grow past the height of 5'9". Yeah, I haven't grown since freshman year. So yeah, I'm basically trying to say I'm fried. But every man has to go through that phase to realize you're just a regular guy. Just because every motivational speaker tells you that you can do whatever you want in this life doesn't mean you actually can do it. I'm just keeping it real. Because I'm sorry, buddy, if you're 5'4" and you're trying to be an NBA basketball player in this economy, in this league, I'm gonna be honest, brother, we have Wimby's playing point guard, bro. You're not Muggsy Bogues, bro. Another tough realization that we've...
Unless you Spud Webb. Spud Webb was like 5'3" and dunking on niggas. Like literally dunking on niggas. 5'3", the shortest player in NBA history to dunk. Spud Webb.
all been through it. Realizing that you're in the friend zone, and I don't care who you think you is, we've all been in this Canon event. As a guy, we've all thought once, if we were a good enough friend to a girl, that she would eventually crack and decide to settle down with us. But another Canon event that we've all been through is realizing that that's not how life works. As a matter of fact, she actually knows that you like her, yet she doesn't care, and she'll still use you for free car rides, free money, free food, and free attention. This is one of the toughest realities we have to learn as a man, but every man has to go through it.
I've been through that a lot. Like you start liking a girl and you be thinking that she be liking you back, but she's just using you. You know, in my 20s, I never realized that. I'm 31 now. Like all the girls I messed with, I'm realizing like some of them, they wasn't really feeling me. To be honest, they was just using me and, you know, basically, just look at me as a resource, or like basically it's like I'm the boyfriend, but not really the boyfriend. It's like a relationship without actually having a title. You know, it feels like it like they make you feel like you're the boyfriend without actually putting the title on it. You know. And I've been through all that, you know. I used to just like wine and dine these females, like, you know, spend money on them, you know, and just like always be around them. They always want to be around me. We always go out to movies, hang out. Like I did all of that, and then I'm just like, hey, and then I get to that moment where I'm like, hey, we've been around each other for a while. I was just wondering, hey, you want to go out? And they just get weirded out. They just get weirded out. Like, hey, I don't like you that way. I'm sorry if you feel that way, but I don't like you that way. And it just make you feel so sorry. Like, you just like, what do you do? What do you do? Like, when a woman don't like you, there's literally nothing you do. You just have to, you know, let things take its course. If somebody want to be with you, hey, lock in. But if that person don't want to be with you, don't be trying to keep chasing. Because I even try to keep chasing after them. And when you chase after somebody that don't want you, that hurts you more. Like, literally, it hurts you more. Like crazy. Like, and then one thing I realized, it like going after a girl that you never been with hurts more than actually being in a relationship, because the whole time you're thinking about the times that you wish or could have happened, like Like, what would it have been like if me and this person been together? Like, you, limerence, that's what it's called. You limerence about all the things that could have happened that never happened. But then again, I have to go back to what I was talking about earlier. Maybe there's a reason why I can't be with that person. Maybe if they gave me a chance, I don't know if they're gonna treat me right, or I don't know if they're gonna treat me like shit. So that's just things I have to think about every time I try to get with somebody that don't want to be with me. And there's a lot of females that I try to get with, and I literally see them as a potential of being a wife, you know. And like, a lot of dudes, they think about, getting it in and all that, but on the other hand, we're thinking about trying to marry you and trying to wife you up and have kids. That's what a lot of us is trying to do. But then again, you gotta pick the right female. You don't want to be married to the wrong one, and you don't want to have kids by the wrong female. So, a little something to think about.
I remember I was 13 and there was this girl I liked and she broke her foot. So I offered literally carry her around the school because we were just good friends. She actually ended up getting pregnant by another guy at 13, but that's a different story. But another pain that we all had to go through is going to the bathroom in a public.
Y'all ever been through that? You ever seen a girl that you wanted to be with and she just ends up getting pregnant out of nowhere? That shit used to hurt me. I'd be like, damn, who the hell got you pregnant? Like, who the hell are you fucking? Like, who did you let hit and put a baby inside you? Man, you start seeing that, like, especially like in high school and getting out of high school, you start seeing that, you like, damn, who you let that nigga put a baby in you? Oh my God, the niggas that the females be getting pregnant by these days, I just be like, oh my gosh, bro. But then again, that's their life, and they gotta raise that child. And there's some of them that don't have the man in their life because they messing with these bozos. But yeah.
Public setting and not knowing the urinal rule. And every single guy watching this video knows exactly what I'm talking about. I remember as a kid, I was at my school and it was like a student teacher day or whatever, I don't know. And for some reason the parents were on campus. And I walked into the bathroom and there was a grown ass man using the left urinal. And the middle and right one were open. And according to the urinal rule, if there's 3 urinals, you have to use the left, you have to use the right, and it's the center one, it's the only one available, you wait your turn. Unless they have blockers or binders where you don't gotta see another man's pee. But as a kid I didn't know that, so I ended up using the middle one right beside him, and I remember to this day, the look that this man gave me was a look of absolute disgust. I'm not gonna lie. And as soon as he got done pissing, turned to me, patted me on the back, and said, "Son, heads up, whenever you use the bathroom, you never piss right beside another man." I've never seen that man ever again, but I thank that man for truly changing my life. But this is one of those rules that once you learn it, never forget it, or else niggas will clown you. So
yeah, I do that a lot. If I see somebody using bathroom, I go to the one spaced out, because you don't want to be next to somebody when you're pissing. But if there's a time, if I have to go pee real bad, I'm going into that middle. Fuck it, I gotta pee.
Something else that we've all been through in the bathroom, though, is being around that one kid who decides to just pull down his whole pants just to take a little piss in the urinal. Back in elementary school, brother, this one was horrible. Usually it will be the special ed kids, but at the same time, it's like, brother, please have some common sense. That's such a great statement. Usually they would be farting too.
And we probably had done that too. I know I probably done that before when I was young. Pulled my pants all the way down just to pee. Little kid stuff, But yeah, man, I think we all seen that, or we probably did that when we was younger.
through, and it was just stinking. But at the same time, we've all done it when we was younger, and then we had a grown man walk into the bathroom and instruct us to never do that again, and then we changed our ways. Something that we haven't changed as guys is number 11 or 12, I don't know at this point. Putting your hands in your pants for warmth on an ice cold freezing day. This one I know we've all done. I'm actually doing it right now, I'm not gonna lie. And no matter if you want to be honest or deny it, we've all done it. Let's just keep it real. And it's amazing. It's one of the most sensational feelings ever. You get to put your hand next to life. It's amazing. I don't know. It's just vibey. Here's the thing with this thing. You gotta be very careful where you do this at, because doing it while nobody's around is cool, but if you're in a crowded room space and you just got your hands in your pants, like, brother, who raised you? That's where the creep allegations come in, and you don't want that. They don't understand, but at the same time, let be classy. Speaking of balls, the next Canon event that we've all been through is chilling around the house playing GTA or Fortnite or something, and then all of a sudden, randomly, you just feel a sharp pain in your balls, and you just start clenching them. You start grabbing them. You start praying to God because you think that you'll never have kids again. You start wondering if you have cancer, or maybe you got an STD, or maybe if you gooned too much. I don't know what you did. And then after it goes away, you immediately get on your knees and pray to God, promising him you would.
I never had that. I don't know what this nigga talking about. But I probably had like a back pain, like just from sitting too long playing a video game, but I never had shit like that. I don't know what this nigga talking about.
Never jerk off again if he heals your pain. And then 3 nights later, you end up jerking off again. But hey, game is game. But after you goon, you get a negative feeling. You feel shame. You promise to God you will never do it again, yet you feel defeated. See, this right here is what we call post-nut clarity, which is the next Canon event, and probably the most popular one. Because the only time that you won't feel this is after the first one you do. Back when you were most likely younger, which is sick, honestly. It's sad that so many little kids are gooning, but it's whatever, I guess. And after that first goon, you felt.
I think everybody went through that whole, after you get done, you feel sickening to yourself. Like man, like after you get done watching the video and stuff, you just be like, man, let me get this motherfucker out. Shit, why am I? You feel disgusted with you be feeling disgusted with yourself afterwards, and you just be like, alright, man. Cause during that moment, it's like a high. It's like a high during that moment, and then after it is like that high went down, and you're just like, alright, man, get this shit out of my face. I don't want to look at it no more.
Felt alive. You felt like you just discovered the greatest thing on earth. Then after that second one, you really quickly realized that you just formed and started an addiction that you'll be very lucky to get out of. There's downhill, and you just keep on getting more downhill until you eventually stop and become a better human being, which a lot of y'all haven't done. Let's just keep it real. At the same time, though, you will never escape post-nut clarity, even though I had one homie who did it like 10 times a day, and apparently he just stopped having it, but he also looked.
That's excessive. 10 times a day. That is excessive. I mean, like there was a person that died doing it, like what? Was it like 15, 16 times and just dropped dead after the 15th time. So yeah, that's excessive.
Very depressed, so I think he just had it permanently. You already know what I'm finna say though. Game is game, jizzle is jizzle, and don't fiddle your pickle. Let's get to it. But it's a part of being a man, and game is game, and that's just how life is. When you retain that though, you will get superpowers. Powers that would never be feasible to that average gooning man. And you do that as soon as you get into the next Canon event, aka semen retention. Every single man has gone through this. I don't care what y'all say. We've all gone through semen retention. We thought that by holding our seed, we would turn into spiritual soul or something. In all reality, you kind of do. I'm not gonna lie. You kind of get superpowers. You feel like you can move mountains, start thinking more clearly, you start getting more ideas. There's really no negative to holding your seed. And then we eventually all fail. But at the same time, we keep on going. But the first time you go on this path, you think you're a superior human being though. You think you're better than everybody because you can hold your seed, and you call all of the regular 1 to 2 times a week gooners peasants in your eyes. You think they're just weak, inferior beings. And that's just how you will think until you eventually become one of them again. Game is game. But the last Canon event I want to talk about is video games falling off as you get older. This one's more of a maturity thing. As you get older, I don't know if it's just me, but like video games just aren't as fun anymore. Like the only games I play now.
I actually agree. When I was younger, I used to be straight gamer, like just straight gamer, just be playing video games. Like I used to play 24/7 all night, all day. And now that I'm older, it's like some of these video games is really boring. Like I'll buy a game just for the story of it, and after the story, I just be like, I don't want to play this anymore. Like I don't even want to do side missions of the game. I just play the game for the story. You know, a lot of games just don't really hit it for me like it used to. But I am gonna get GTA 6 when it comes out. I'm definitely gonna get GTA 6 when it comes out. And when that do happen, I might do some gaming content on here. I might have to see first, but yeah, I'm definitely gonna get GTA 6. But yeah, I used to be hardcore 2K. I used to be hardcore WWE. Uh, you know, I used to play a lot of GTA 5 too, and especially the online. Then the online got boring. It's like really nothing to do. It just feel like the same thing over and over again. So yeah, yeah. So I just wait for new games to come out that looks interesting. And I play it, play the story, and then I don't mess with it no more.
Now it's NCAA, and it's really just to cool down and just to beat my friends. I'm not gonna lie. I can't get immersed in a game nowadays like I did back when I was younger. Maybe it's because I got responsibilities, or maybe it's just because games fell off. I don't know what it is, but it's kind of sad. Hopefully GTA 6 can bring that back out of me, but till then, we will see. But I feel like every man kind of goes through this, and if you didn't, shouts out to you. But hey, go ahead and tell me anything I missed. If you like this video, go tap into my streams. They're very entertaining too. I'll be doing yaps, vlogs, calendar.
Alright, that's gonna be all for that, man. If y'all like this video, go ahead, click a like and subscribe. And this is your boy L-DUBNATION.
Challenges